Hello folks, I'm here at Crocheron Park in Bayside. Interesting to see how they're reconstructing the baseball field, because there's more down there here in Bayside. I tried recording this yesterday, but I was just a little bit angry, I guess. Guess my feelings weren't in the right place, but I'm starting to cope with the realities that I'm facing, and I'll get into that in just a second. I do want to sit down and eat lunch over here on the bench, because it is a nice, beautiful day. It was 70, and I will actually make a weather video tomorrow, pretty much explaining how warm the East Coast got yesterday, because with this whole coronavirus, you're not going to hear anything about the East Coast of the United States seeing an unusual weather pattern with warm weather. So I'm going to set up the camera later on, and we're just going to talk, and yeah, we'll do a little bit of a walkthrough of Crocheron Park and why this might be the last time I might get to go to the park for a while. Alright, so I decided I'm not going to use the front-facing camera and just stand around, because, if I stand around, then, I don't know, I may get antsy, which I think that's the right word I want to say. So I'm not going to do front-facing, because especially with the gray sky today, I don't know if the lighting's going to cooperate, because I just want to take a little walk today. So I'm going to talk about coronavirus and how it's impacting our quality of life, because it's something we all just can't escape from. It's sad but true. It's the only thing I'm going to be allowed to say, because I don't want to say anything controversial. But I will tell everybody this about coronavirus right now. All I'm going to say is there's a lot more questions than answers at this point. We really don't know anything about it. So I don't want people making assumptions that, hey, look, a squirrel. How did a squirrel get my shot? That's what I love about the park, I was in Ali Pond yesterday because it was so beautiful. It was 70 degrees, and I had a nice little walk off camera. So yeah, I got to get a little steam out when it came to coronavirus. But, I just wish people would stop making assumptions about it. Because I will mention, and I'll go on the record and say this, last night I got an email from my supervisors at Northwell. They'd want non-essential people to not come into the building effective today. And what I actually did was I asked my dad to drop me off at Northwell, which he was nice enough to do, so I could say goodbye to my staff, because they pretty much today was the last, they don't want people coming in, but they told people they were allowed to pick up their stuff, because, the other employees have to get the stuff, of course, because, they have to unpack. I mean, they're going to be out of a job for the next month, and I feel bad for them. I do feel bad for them, You have nothing to do for the next month. Well, technically, I still do at the moment, which I'll get to in a second. But it's a very scary time right now. This is a very scary time we're dealing with. I think, we all have to come together. We all have to be civil, no matter what political side you're on right now, because we all have to understand right now that the people who are okay and do feel well, we need to cherish them and be thankful for them in our lives right now. Because one day, that person who you've known for years or you love in general, they might not be around anymore. God forbid that they catch this corona, which I said, I don't want... I'm sorry, but the way I look at this corona right now, and maybe people are going to disagree with me, is that the way I look at it, we need We need to get questions answered, and we're just going to have to take this day by day. So I know people do not like Governor Cuomo. I understand that. But he is our local elected official. And he's the one giving updates every day. And I know many of you don't like Laura Curran or Bill de Blasio, but you have to understand they are giving us information, even if you don't like them. We have to be bipartisan right now. We can't be torn apart just because of this coronavirus. Yeah, I'll show you the Cross Island Parkway in just a second, because that's what I like about this park. You know, Alley Pond doesn't have this feature, even though this is a smaller park. I will say this right now: for a smaller park like this, you at least do have that. I don't know. Maybe I might go to Oakland Lake if I have enough time. But then again, the rain might come down. I'd like to show you Oakland Lake one day, because Oakland Lake's beautiful. I've been there many times with my dad and my friends over the years. So there's a swan that's been there for years, and a couple ducks, and it's beautiful. And they've the Parks Department over the years has done a good job preserving it. No matter who the mayor was, it was Koch, Dinkins, Giuliani, Bloomberg, de Blasio. They've always prioritized Oakland Lake, it seems, over the years. So that's why I love New York City parks. That's the only thing the politicians seem to get right. We'll admit that. You know, one thing I will admit, if you're getting married, the gazebos here would be perfect to use, because then you could use them for wedding pictures, I guess. Because again, I will mention this: I have 2 cousins getting married this year, pending this coronavirus, because we don't know what's going to happen. But I'm hoping this corona does die down eventually. But I'll get to that in a second. But I have 2 cousins getting married. One, I'll mention this: my cousin Elizabeth's getting married to her fiance Danny, and I'm sure you saw the jailbreak video. My cousin's maiden name's going to be changed, so thankfully that won't matter now, starting on August 2nd legally. And then I think this is a week after Labor Day, something like that. I want to show you the Cross Island, but the trees are in the way. Yeah, look at that. The Cross Island's actually moving. And if you see down there, that's a hiking trail, and it starts at Northern Boulevard, and it goes all the way up to Bay Terrace, and it goes into Fort Taunton Park. Which the thing again, I'm a native of Queens, so I know that the boat club to this day is still up there in Fort Taunton. Which I want to show you that one day. I'm gonna make that a priority in the summer, because I will do that. Because especially all the humid summers we get, I wouldn't mind taking a walk on that hiking trail. Definitely in the summer I can look into doing that, because I can thankfully just take the Q31 up here, and then take the Q13 and go to Wendy's for lunch after. Which I bought my own lunch today, because you know, I was planning to bring stuff for being Long Island Jewish on Thursday, but I'll just say this right now: us non-essential people, we're not needed until April. Which again, I'm very glad my dad dropped me off in Long Island Jewish today. He let me say goodbye to everybody and get my stuff, and then I just went on my way today. I told my parents what happened, and my dad said, "Oh, you better double check," because what happened was, even though I'm not in patient contact, my dad asked me to tell my supervisors, "No, this doesn't apply to me," and they said, "Yes, it's everyone." So I understand, you know. So I have to tell them that after, when I get home today. Yeah, see that's the hiking trail. It's yeah, I mean you can go from here, and then the thing is, I'm surprised that this bridge is 12'8", because trucks are not allowed on the parkway. So you would think that, you know, I don't know. It's more questions than answers, I guess. But in reality, I'm not going back until April, the end of April, it looks like. But, you know, I'll have to check my emails and get updates from my supervisors at Northwell. But they were nice enough and let me say goodbye to them. You know, I want to double check that, you know, even though I'm not in patient contact, does this apply to me? And, you know, it doesn't. Well, it does apply to everyone, because again, you have, oh, we have swans today. You know what? Let me go down there. We'll go down there. I want to take a look at the swans. And I'll show you them. But again, it's very scary. We all need to come together. We have to unite. We have to show love and respect for one another right now. And we all just have to take this day by day. We all just have to keep calm about it, I guess. You know, don't rant, don't rave, don't say anything irrational. Like Pine Power L did last night. And, you know, I condone anything that he said last night, because, you know, I said, the way I look at it right now, you gotta take this day by day. You gotta take this one day at a time. And maybe I'll go over there and I'll just look at the East River, because maybe we can actually get a view of the Throgs Neck Bridge today. Wow. You know, I never go these steps. Rarely I do. I'm always down there first. But you can actually see North Shore Towers from here. Yes, I may walk back and show you the bay for a bit. Maybe we'll see some of the boats by the boat club. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I am just enjoying my last day outside for a while, because, you know, I will mention that I spoke to my supervisor at the nursing home on the phone this morning, and as long as nobody is coughing, nobody is presenting any symptoms of a cold, because what they're doing at Osnum is, if anybody has a cold, because from what I've heard with this corona, they've said that if you have symptoms of a cold, that could be suspicion of coronavirus. So the one thing I want to recommend to tell everybody right now is, if you do have a cold, you know, just make sure that your temperature isn't above 104 degrees. That's the one thing I know this for a fact. Because if you are above 104 degrees, I would recommend, if possible, get tested. That would be, again, I'm in healthcare, so I know this for a fact. So I would just say, do that. Well, if you have a cold, you have a cold. But I've heard from the CDC that they want people to get tested if they have a fever of 104, because it could either be coronavirus or it could be the seasonal flu, which seasonal flu this year has just gotten crazy as well. You know, they have a lot of cases this year with the regular seasonal flu. And vaccine, I don't even want to get into that. I don't even want to talk about that, because all I know about it is they're saying that it could take another year. So I really don't want to think about that right now. But that's what I've heard from the CDC, that, you know, self-quarantine, I don't want to really going to get into that, but 104 degrees is the appropriate temperature to get yourself checked, either in general for seasonal flu or the coronavirus. That's what I would recommend. Thankfully, with my coughing, it's different, because it's just post-nasal drip. I still feel like I got post-nasal drip. You can thank my deviated septum for that. The issue is, if I ever try to get that fixed, and I got to go to an ENT, and that's very expensive. So if I sound like I do have a cold, you can thank my deviated septum, which is just, you know, whatever at this point. I think some of the swans from Oakland Lake are here today. Man, those guys travel. I will admit that. Even some of the Canadian geese who hang out at Oakland Lake, they like to hang out here too sometimes, especially when the weather gets warmer. That's when you'll notice the Canadian geese, especially in Belmore, which I really do want to see more sightseeing in Belmore this summer, hopefully, or maybe even in May. That's what I might do. That's what I might do off camera a lot once this coronavirus does die down. All this, all this media coverage and all, people getting worried and antsy, and I can understand why people do feel this way, but just take every day, one day at a time. I'm very grateful I get to be outside today, and I get to show you this. Get to show you nature at work, because these creatures of nature, they don't have to worry about human problems. So you don't get this in the Pine Barrens. But Pine Power, if you are rewatching, I will say this. Please, if you can, re-upload the video last night, but just edit out all the coronavirus stuff. Oh! Where are those guys going? But I will mention in the video last night that John did post, there was some nice birds John did see out in Suffolk yesterday. And I will mention, yesterday was very clear outside. Clear blue sky, which, that's shocking when the temperature warms up that quickly. I didn't see any cumulus or circulus clouds yesterday, so that was very alarming. But the humidity was very low, which I hope we get more days like that in the summer, because I want to see dew points in the 20s like yesterday. That will be comfortable to actually be out here. I want to show you the swans down there. I'll show you them. Don't worry, no pictures, no anything. Just me talking to you while I show you nature. Not even the part I did earlier with showing you the radio when I was eating lunch. So, folks, take a look at this. Oh, these guys camera shy. Oh, never mind, they just came out. I tried taking a picture of it, because with this iPhone, you can actually do this. See? I got a picture of them. Maybe I can get like a still picture using my editor later on or something. Or maybe when I play back the video I can do something, but yeah. I mean, I know I have a thumbnail of coronavirus, what it looks like, but hope I'm not stepping on any duck dew. That's the problem. I don't know what I'm stepping on. Yeah, see, there's some duck dew here. Gotta be careful. That's the only thing you have to be careful of, but I can just scrape it off later on, I guess. I don't know. But these are just beautiful creatures. Look at this. Somebody hanging a plastic bottle here. That's the one thing I do agree with Pine Power LI on. So we gotta curb our pollution. And I think this plastic bag ban is just stupid. Walgreens and Fresh Meadows, I went there yesterday. They were giving away the plastic bags they still had in stock. So, crazy enough. Look, more geese. Look at that. Now he looks into the camera. No way. Yep, that's the problem with early spring. These are not supposed to be out until April. Look at that. These tulips are not supposed to grow until April. That's what we also have to be worried about, folks, is climate change. Because thankfully I haven't seen any leaves started to grow yet, because we're still in winter. Spring doesn't start for another week. And, you know, that's very alarming to see flowers starting to grow this early. They're not supposed to grow this early. They're supposed to start growing right around Easter, when the temperature normally gets up to the 50s and the 60s. And we'll mention in Delmarva, we have a couple parks. I don't know what that was about. They lost? Yeah, these guys are probably lost. I don't know what's going on over there, but, you know, I will mention that they do have ice rescue ladders. Sometimes you'll have kids act like fools and this freezes up, which, again, with the winter we've been having, you know, I don't know, if those guys need directions, I could have put the camera down. I could have helped them get back to Bell Boulevard, because to get back to Bell Boulevard from here, you got to go up this street, and then it takes you right up to Bell, which is 35th Avenue, which I'm going to go into Bayside off camera and go to 7-Eleven later, because I'll see if they got the red velvet cookie that got in Belrose a couple weeks back. I love that cookie, so I'll just show you the Bay today. I'll show you it. I've never shown you it before to wrap up the video. But my point is, I'm going to see my residents. I'm doing Mondays and Wednesdays, but at the moment, I'm going to see if I can go see Larry Shorts for my monthly committee meeting on the 23rd, later this month. And I do have to bring up to Chief De La Torre about the vagrant at Kew Gardens, because if you didn't see Andy Quinto's video, oh God, I think there's a wops here. Oh boy, I think there's wops here. We gotta move. Oh my God. See what I mean, folks? This is climate change. Pine Power Ally is right. That's one thing I will agree with him on. My goodness. Wops in March. How is that even possible? Oh goodness. I think there's more here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you the Bay today. These might be carpenter bees. I think they're out early. That's wood back there. We gotta run. Oh my God. I saw carpenter bees. We gotta run. Oh my God. Oh my God, folks. Oh. Oh my goodness. That was a good run. Woo. And those carpenter bees aren't supposed to be out until May. So you know something is wrong with the climate when carpenter bees are not supposed to be out. Absolutely not. Oh my God. That was just so scary. Oh my God. Because I'm like, that's a carpenter bee. I know what they look like. That's actually how we get them in my area, because my steps are wooden. But again, I'm saying this right now. I really wish people would also get involved in climate change, because I wouldn't mind being out here today if it was in the upper 40s. I'd be wearing my heavier jacket and we have a proper ending. This is the time of the year I always try to go to the parks. But those carpenter bees are not supposed to be out until May. That's what happens with climate change. It got to 70 yesterday. It's not supposed to be this warm in March. And that's very alarming. So we all need to start talking about that once this coronavirus talk dies down. Because it's very alarming. Look, another plastic bag. Yep. I don't even know how it got up there. Yeah, so I'm going to walk back into Bayside. Actually, no, I want to walk to the restroom. I do have to go again. Let's have my soda. I think if I can walk back to the restroom. I do see it down there. But we all just have to just have to be careful. That's all. And I pray that we're gonna get through this, because there have been other diseases over the years like swine flu, Ebola, SARS, anthrax. You know, I will agree with my friend, one of my friends who lives out in Merrick, and trust me, she's not one of the snobs, trust me. Is that the media is fearing us. I think that's what we have to fear right now, because we're so obsessed with this coverage that we get paranoid and scared. And I'll mention that the drugstores are running low on hand sanitizer. So it's just crazy. Crazy what's going on. The people can't get hand sanitizer. You know, you can make that at home. And I will say this, I'm glad the governor here in New York is, I wouldn't get stung by a carpenter bee. But in reality, the governor said that he directed the state to make its own hand sanitizer, which, you know, I can understand why they're doing that. I can understand why. They're only going to give it to municipalities who desperately need it, and especially how things get updated day by day. So again, I know people don't like the governor, but if the governor doesn't tell us anything, we're not going to be informed. We have the most cases in the country next to Washington State, and especially how that nursing home in Washington. That's why I get so paranoid about my residents at Osnum. That's why I have the paranoia. That's the only thing I have a fear of, to be honest, is the health and well-being of the residents who I work with every week. And now I'm going to see them twice in 1 week. Do apologize about that. But we have to take this day by day. That's the problem. So take it one day at a time. You know, if you can, try to live on your normal life. Go on about your business. And thankfully I'll be home, maybe 3 or 4 times a week in the house. And so Northwell tells me I can go back to work. So maybe they will let me come back earlier. Maybe they will. But I'm not thinking about that right now. What I'm thinking about is survival mode. I'm gonna have to go grocery shopping now. Stock up on food. I'm not gonna have any food. So start stocking up. So thank you all for watching. I'm gonna make sure I do some stuff on this channel. Believe me, I will. There'll be content. I'll make sure there is. So until the next one, please take care.